Hi everyone, I'm Bill Say, and today I want to talk about the third step of the process work model of conflict, which is getting into the neutral or witnessing point of view. This is a really wonderful step, and in some ways it's my most favorite step of this model because it invites us to get into a place where we're bigger than the conflict, and that's really huge, particularly if we're involved in the thing. It asks us basically to step back and look at the conflict, almost like if I'm in a conflict with somebody, I'm looking at Bill and I'm looking at this other person and I'm seeing, what are these two people really doing? What are they potentially learning? What are they struggling with here? It's looking at things from a relatively neutral point of view. Now, what I want to say is, in difficult conflict situations, this step is not so easy to do, and it's not so easy to do if we're really charged, if we're really angry, for example, if we're afraid, hurt, etc. And so step one of this model, taking your own side and then taking the other side, those two steps are often really important to do before we get to step three, partly because step one and step two helps us kind of process the relationship conflict a little bit more before we can actually step back. But that said, you may be a person who can be in the conflict, have heated feelings, but temporarily be able to step back and check out the situation from afar. And it's simply really helpful because sometimes when we're really just entrenched into the conflict, we may lose perspective of what we're really doing in the conflict, or what we may potentially be learning. We may lose sight of really important aspects of the conflict and all the different permutations that can arise. The other thing I want to say about this step that I really love is this. It seems that for many of us, who we are, for example, me as Bill Say, I can hold so much diversity. Yeah, there's so many types of people, so many different perspectives that I can hold, but I am admittedly somewhat limited in this regard. But one of the practices that I found to be really helpful when practicing this third step of the model is connecting to a nature spot or nature energy. And my go-to nature energy is the ocean. And what I found is this. As I've connected more to the ocean energy, not just by visiting the ocean, but by connecting to the part of me that's a little bit like the ocean, I have found a part of me that has a greater capacity to hold differences and conflict, much more than Bill is able to, for example. So in considering the step of getting into a neutral or witnessing point of view, you might find that it's helpful to connect to a nature energy. Let's say you're a person who really likes the forest or the mountains, and you're in a conflict. Well, being yourself, you could step back and probably get good benefit from stepping back from the conflict and just looking at it and saying, wow, what's really going on here? And what do I see? What do I see about this other person that I'm conflicting with? And what do I see about myself? And you might be surprised what you gain in doing so. And it's one of the reasons why difficult conflicts benefit from having a neutral facilitator, somebody who can look at the situation somewhat neutrally from the outside and help with facilitating the thing. Now, you can do a version of this just by stepping back, and you might even find you can do a version of it that's even more enhanced by connecting first to that forest or that mountain energy, dropping your own personal identity for even a minute or two, and just looking at this relationship situation, looking at this conflict situation from afar. So try this out as a little exercise. Bring to mind, if it's okay, bring to mind a present or past conflict situation. Consider where you were with this situation and this person. Think about the other person, where they were coming from. And then just imagine looking at it, looking at those two people in conflict, and just noticing what you see, what you hear, what you notice about this other person, and noticing what you see about yourself. Yeah? And then as an added step, or a version of this step, think about a favorite place in nature. Could be the desert, the ocean, forest, etc. And imagine that you're there. You may even feel a little bit better just by imagining it. And from that place, you can think that, I notice I'm a little shy to say it, but you can even imagine momentarily that you are that forest, you are that ocean spot. Yeah, you're not just you, but you're also this nature energy. And from this forest or mountain energy, etc., look at this conflict. What do you notice about these two people? What do you see about this other person? What do you see about this person that you would call you? And from that nature perspective, do you have any advice for your everyday self who is involved in this conflict? Yeah, you might try that out. Check it out for another few moments. And you might see, this could help. Stepping back, getting into a relatively neutral place, using nature energy to enhance your neutrality and your ability to hold differences. And you might find that conflict is certainly difficult, it's scary, and we can learn amazing things from our differences and help improve the health and sustainability of relationships, communities, organizations, and families. So good luck with it. Take care.